Do you know why your reactions do not always belong to you? What if silent patterns decide your moves before you even notice? If you want disciplined power under pressure, listen with ruthless attention. The link between emotional discipline and Machiavellian mastery is unseen structure. Structure governs feelings, then feelings govern choices, then choices shape outcomes. Most people focus on feeling first and lose control at the root. To take back control, you must master the structure beneath emotion. That structure begins with attention, because attention decides what becomes real. Whoever shapes attention shapes meaning, and meaning directs the next move. Your attention shrinks during pressure without asking permission. A word, a pause, or a sigh narrows your inner field. Narrow fields breed quick reactions and predictable language. Predictable language reveals vulnerabilities to anyone mapping your patterns. Emotional discipline reverses this sequence by widening the field on command. You widen it through a quiet ritual that no one can see. Run the 4-step ritual whenever heat rises within your body. Scan, breathe, name, and question. Then allow stillness to choose timing. The scan is brief and neutral, not dramatic and not forced. Notice eyes, jaw, shoulders, diaphragm, and breath with soft curiosity. Do not fix yet. Only gather signals with calm presence. You are building data before emotion claims the steering wheel. The breath is neutral, not theatrical and not deep. Inhale gently through the nose. Pause briefly, exhale slightly longer with ease. Keep your face soft and your shoulders heavy and relaxed. 2. Neutral breaths. Adjust the inner clock without announcing anything outwardly. The body hears safety and stops sending alarm messages. Now the mind can think without drowning in noise. The naming step separates you from the surge instantly. Inside your mind say, pressure rising, or bait detected, or boundary touched. Use plain language without drama or insult. Naming changes energy from identity into information. Information can be handled. Identity tries to defend itself. Defense wastes power. Handling converts power into choice. The question widens your frame beyond the first story offered. Ask quietly, what meaning is being suggested, and who benefits from it? Frames are agreements about what reality currently is. Accept the wrong frame and your best words empower. The wrong story. Refuse the first frame politely and your options. Multiply. This is the hidden hinge where mind becomes strategy. Once the ritual opens space, move from feelings to structure. Structure is the language of Machiavellian clarity. Start with the triad of clarify. Constrain and choose. Clarify turns fog into facts without blame or heat. Ask, what standard are we using, and how will we verify outcomes? Facts slow momentum and reveal where emotion tried to replace evidence. Constrain reduces chaos by narrowing the field intelligently. Say, let us focus on the single point that actually decides direction. Many manipulations die when the stage becomes smaller. Stages allow proportional responses and fair comparisons. Choice then becomes deliberate rather than reactive. Deliberate choice radiates authority without aggression. Choose selects the smallest effective move that preserves dignity and options. Sometimes you pause a decision. Sometimes you request evidence. Sometimes you redefine scope. Every choice protects long-term position rather than short-term pride. Pride seeks victory. Discipline seeks leverage. Leverage outlasts victory. The composed mind prefers leverage because it compounds silently. Compounding leverage is quiet power that few perceive. You must also understand the 3 levers that bend reactions. Urgency steals time. Validation steals identity. Guilt steals agency. Urgency says act fast or lose everything. Validation says perform now to stay worthy. Guilt says sacrifice self to restore imaginary balance. Discipline disarms all 3 with process, principle, and proportion. Disarm urgency with a clean process clock that feels fair. Say, decisions follow 2 stages. Facts first, options later, selection after review. Time returns and fear leaves the room. Disarm validation by splitting worth from performance in this moment. Say, identity is not on this table. Only standards and outcomes matter. Ego stops negotiating where identity is not for sale. Disarm guilt with proportional accountability and transparent boundaries. Say, empathy is real and process protects trust and fairness. Equity requires structure. not panic. These lines are calm and unprovocable, yet firm and exact. They cool the air while protecting your spine. Cool air and strong spines invite honest dialogue. Learn latency control, the distance between feeling and expression. Short latency makes you readable and therefore steerable. Long latency keeps you unreadable and therefore immune. Do not suppress. Convert. Anger becomes clean assertion. Sadness becomes depth. Fear becomes foresight. Conversion turns raw charge into useful signal without leaking control. Watch for 4 micro signs of imminent flooding. 1. Your vision tightens and peripheral awareness disappears. 2. Your tongue presses the palate while shoulders lift slightly. 3. Your thoughts switch to absolute language and catastrophic prediction. 4. You feel a moral urge to correct someone publicly and quickly. When any sign appears, run the ritual and buy back time. Understand bait, frame, and hook, the 3 layers of provocation. Bait aims for reflex, frame defines meaning. Hook captures identity. People throw bait to map your pride and your fear. Do not bite. Observe and label without movement. Frames then attempt to decide what your silence or speech must mean. Refuse with polite. Redirection toward criteria and verification. Hooks try to tie your essence to their agenda. They sound like you always avoid responsibility, or everyone doubts your competence. Break hooks by splitting. Evaluation from identity immediately. Say inside. This is feedback on behavior, not a verdict on being. Identity remains intact, and your nervous system stays calm. Calm minds choose. Captured minds react. Language is a carrier of frames, so select phrases that hold structure. Say, let us compare options using shared criteria and explicit trade-offs. Say, speed cannot replace quality where consequences are meaningful. Say, I will respond after review, not before, and not during pressure. These sentences create process, and process weakens manipulation. Even strong personalities relax in the presence of coherent. Process build pre-commitments to protect against boundary drift. State non-negotiables early with warmth and clarity. Repeat the same phrasing each time the line is tested. Consistency anchors the room and steadies your own nerves. Drift is hardest, where language keeps changing, unchanged. Language signals a stable identity under shifting weather. Study the emotional economy of attention. Attention is currency, and every provoker seeks to collect it. Split attention into 2 balanced channels during heat. Half remains inward, tracking breath, posture, and tempo. Half studies sequence, criteria, and hidden incentives. Dual attention makes influence slide off without residue. Tempo is the invisible battlefield inside every exchange. If others speed up, you slow down. If others slow down, you stay steady and grounded. The one who sets tempo sets perceived authority. Tempo requires breath, cadence, and word selection. Short sentences with clean pauses carry remarkable weight. Learn calibrated silence, which is silence with intention and presence. Silence without presence invites pressure. Silence with presence invites respect. Hold soft eyes and long. Exhale while the room completes its echo. Many traps collapse when you decline to supply the missing piece. Let absence do the work that words cannot do. Design a phrasing. Bank before storms arrive. Prepare cooling lines, boundary lines, and review lines. Cooling lines reduce heat without surrendering ground. Say, let us slow this down so comparisons become honest. Boundary lines protect standards with minimal emotion. Say, that approach conflicts with my criteria. I will maintain the conditions. Review lines create time and accountability together. Say, I will examine the facts and return at a specific time. Build value hierarchy to quiet inner conflict during pressure. Rank integrity above image, process above speed, growth above perfection. When values are ranked, choices become directional rather than emotional. Direction outlives mood and keeps posture stable. Posture signals reality to nervous systems around you. Stable posture becomes a social anchor that changes behavior. Expect resistance from your own conditioning. A mind trained by chaos seeks chaos when calm appears. Treat peace like a skill and train. Tolerance for quiet. Spend a few minutes daily in attentive stillness with open eyes. Notice urges to fill the space and choose not to. Each minute of chosen quiet resets your baseline for the day. Attach, review, and clean up after every tense moment. Write one simple line. Trigger noted, protocol used, state recovered, lesson stored. This small practice prevents residue from contaminating tomorrow. Residue breeds overreactions and invisible biases. Cleanup protects clarity and keeps emotions available for meaningful work. Clarity and availability together are rare and valuable signals. Be careful with pride and composure, because pride invites subtle capture. If you begin to admire your stillness, you start performing it. Performance replaces authenticity, and manipulators will sense the shift. Stay simple inside, steady but unadvertised. Real discipline does not need spotlight, because it is its own reward. Quiet mastery travels without banners and survives every terrain. Remember, Machiavellian intelligence without empathy becomes paranoia. Emotional empathy without structure becomes surrender. Integration is the aim. Clarity with warmth and boundaries with respect. You can be kind while protecting standards with firm language. You can be open while refusing unfair frames. This paradox confuses aggressors and reassures observers simultaneously. Over time, the ritual becomes posture, and posture becomes identity. You no longer act calm. You are calm. You no longer search for the right sentence. Your cadence delivers it. Conflicts shrink because escalation cannot find grip on your surface. People begin calibrating to your tempo without instruction. This is influence through atmosphere, rather than force. Yet mastery requires one more perception upgrade. Not every calm tone is honest alignment. Some calm tones are engineered mirrors designed to enter your defenses. They copy your rhythm, your words, and your patience to guide you softly. When rhythm matches too perfectly, ask deeper questions about purpose. Resonance is not proof of alignment, only proof of skillful imitation, so the manual continues beneath the obvious. Rules. You must learn to verify alignment under layers of politeness. You must learn to test intentions without accusation or drama. You must learn to break rhythm on purpose to reveal imitation. This is the frontier where emotional discipline meets strategic vision. And the next page will ask the sharpest question of all. When calm around you feels perfect and safe, how will you confirm it serves truth and not a quiet hand steering you toward a hidden destination? Do you know why even the most disciplined mind trembles under silent pressure? What if control was never about emotion but about perception of control? If you want to see the hidden mechanism behind calm power, listen carefully. Emotional discipline begins as self-command, but true mastery evolves into signal design. Every emotion emits a signal: pace, tone, micro-expression, rhythm, and presence. Most people send signals without realizing that perception converts them into meaning. Meaning creates narrative, and narrative shapes how others respond to you. So whoever controls their signals controls the version of reality others see. This is not deception. It is strategic communication under full awareness. Your composure is not just an inner state. It is a calibrated performance. The Machiavellian mind understands that emotions are languages spoken in microseconds. Anger, fear, calm, and certainty each carry frequencies that influence surrounding nervous systems. You do not need to dominate others to lead them. You must simply tune the atmosphere. Discipline allows tuning without visible manipulation. This tuning becomes invisible power, subtle, efficient, and precise. The first rule of invisible power is neutrality of tone. Neutral tone is not emotionless. It is balanced energy and controlled rhythm. When tension rises, people search for a dominant tone to synchronize with. If yours remains neutral, you become the emotional reference point. Others begin unconsciously adjusting their states to match your steadiness. This is how composure becomes command, without sound or force. The second rule is measured delay, the pause before reaction. Reaction. Speed is the easiest data to exploit in human psychology. The world reads fast reactions as weakness. Even when logical, delay creates mystery, and mystery generates quiet influence. Every pause gives your nervous system time to decode hidden motives. In that gap, emotional intelligence transforms into psychological vision. The third rule is clarity through economy. The fewer words you use, the heavier each one lands. Precision signals control, while overflow signals anxiety. The Machiavellian mind cuts sentences to bone, leaving only truth and leverage. Never fill silence with excess. Let clarity echo instead. Those who rush to fill silence often expose their insecurity. But internal stability must match external control, or the body will betray the mind. Micro-expressions, posture shifts, or voice tremors leak your real signal. To align both, use the triad of grounding, rhythm, and stillness. Grounding means awareness of contact points, feet, chair, or hands. Rhythm means speech pacing that matches calm breath. Stillness means body movements stay deliberate, never accidental. Practice short drills to synchronize body and mind before entering conflict. Take 2 neutral breaths. Relax the shoulders and count heartbeats. On the 4th heartbeat, let the spine settle slightly. Heavier, this anchors your nervous system into baseline before words begin. Anchored. Posture disarms aggression because it removes your hidden fear. Cue. Most conflict dissolves when fear has no foothold. Understand that the manipulator studies your predictability, not your morality. They measure which emotion breaks your timing first. Some use anger to pull, others use flattery to push. Either way, the goal is tempo theft, to make you dance to their rhythm. Tempo theft is the silent art of emotional dominance. Emotional discipline reclaims tempo and destroys the illusion of control. Tempo. Control requires self-reversal, moving opposite to provocation. If they attack fast, slow down. If they flatter gently, add structure. If they grow silent, remain grounded but attentive. This reversal breaks their rhythm and forces recalibration. People cannot manipulate what refuses to match energy automatically. But there is a deeper secret. The power of emotional neutrality during moral pressure. When guilt, shame, or moral urgency are used against you, stay centered. False morality uses emotional leverage to bypass logic. Do not defend innocence. Describe process. Say calmly, truth must pass through verification, not assumption. This turns moral heat into procedural clarity, and power returns to you. Many confuse calmness with coldness, but true composure feels warm and precise. Coldness creates distance. Warmth creates stability. Your goal is not emotional absence, but emotional containment. Containment means emotion remains visible but never spills. Visible restraint is magnetic because it signals depth under control. Depth creates curiosity, and curiosity draws respect without request. Remember, power always moves from internal balance to external influence. Those who control their own narrative radiate consistency in chaos. Consistency breeds credibility faster than charm or intellect, and credibility is the softest armor in political and emotional games. It cannot be attacked directly because it feels earned, not performed. Credibility grows from repetition of calm under different storms. The Machiavellian aspect of this truth is simple. You do not need to dominate people to lead them, only to master your signals. The disciplined mind understands that others borrow emotions through imitation. Your calm becomes their calm. Your rhythm becomes their pace. This is not manipulation. It is emotional gravity, silent, unforced, and enduring. The more stable you become, the less effort leadership requires. Yet, every system carries a shadow. The disciplined mind can easily cross into emotional suppression. Suppression looks strong but corrodes awareness slowly. You must balance stillness with reflection, control with release. After every confrontation, discharge emotion privately, through writing or silence. Retained emotion turns calm into armor, and armor limits perception. The final layer of this part is insight into emotional transparency. Transparency is controlled vulnerability, not exposure. You show emotion intentionally to reset connection, not to seek validation. For instance, acknowledging pressure in calm language humanizes authority. Say, "This is challenging," but clarity will come with patience. This admission builds trust while maintaining composure. You are not pretending calm. You are engineering it through awareness. Discipline is a system, not a personality, and every system has rules, patterns, and upgrades through repetition. The more you practice, the more automatic it becomes. Reaction fades, choice expands, and others begin adjusting to your frequency. Your stillness becomes environment, not effort. But there is one question that defines the next evolution of mastery. If your calm can shape others, and your silence can lead rooms, what happens when someone uses calm against you, mirroring your own stillness to enter your trust? Do you know that imitation is the highest form of control in human behavior? What if the calm you trust in others is actually your reflection being used against you? If you want to see through mirrored composure, pay attention to rhythm, not words. The world is full of emotional mirrors. Some reflect peace to earn your openness. Others reflect logic to earn your loyalty. They study your tone, your patience, your controlled breathing, and copy it precisely. Their goal is not connection, but synchronization. Once they sync, they steer. You think you are aligned, but you are actually following your own reflection. This is the hidden trap of mirrored calm influence. Disguised as harmony, the manipulator who mirrors you does not attack or provoke. They echo your energy to gain your nervous system's permission. Your body interprets sameness as safety, and safety lowers awareness. Then they begin inserting small, seemingly rational adjustments to your viewpoint. You do not resist because their rhythm feels identical to yours. This is not persuasion. It is silent enrollment into someone else's design. To see through this, study the 3 layers of emotional mirroring. First is energetic mimicry, where tone, breath, and pace match yours. Second is linguistic alignment, where your own phrases are reflected back to you. Third is value echoing, where your principles are affirmed but subtly reordered. Each layer deepens trust while loosening vigilance. And by the time you feel fully understood, redirection has already begun. The first defense is deliberate micro-disruption. You must change rhythm intentionally during calm exchanges. Pause earlier than normal. Shift posture slightly, or adjust word sequence. Authentic alignment adapts smoothly. Imitation hesitates for half a second. That half second is exposure, the flicker that reveals hidden motive. Every pretender loses coordination when the mirror stops matching itself. The second defense is content testing. Mirroring operates at the surface of tone but fails under depth. Ask questions that test principle, not personality. Say, what value would you protect if this truth cost you comfort? Say, how do you balance honesty with advantage when both cannot coexist? Watch for hesitation. Imitation copies emotion, not philosophy. True alignment answers with clarity. Imitation defaults to borrowed lines. The third defense is inner verification. You must learn to feel energetic heaviness beneath harmony. When harmony is genuine, your body relaxes evenly. When it is fabricated, you will feel mild fatigue or fog behind the eyes. This is not intuition. It is physiology. Your system detecting double signals. The mind hears peace, but the body senses manipulation. Always trust the slower system. It detects lies before language does. Machiavellian mastery is not only projection, but perception. You must learn to observe silence as signal, not absence. People who use mirrored calm often avoid true stillness. Their silence is empty, not grounded. It feels like holding breath. True calm has depth. False calm has pause but no gravity. If you listen long enough, emptiness reveals itself without confrontation. To reclaim psychological advantage, lead the tempo again, reduce the rhythm, simplify tone, and introduce uncertainty politely. Say, there's a point here we might both be missing. This single line breaks imitation because it shifts the field from reflection to exploration. Exploration demands originality, and imitation cannot supply it. The mirrored calm will fracture under the weight of authentic thought. But the deeper mastery lies not in exposing others, but in maintaining independence. Mirrored calm only works when your validation depends on similarity. If you need alignment to feel safe, you will always be programmable. So train emotional autonomy, the ability to feel stable in disagreement. Autonomy is emotional armor disguised as openness. You can stay warm while refusing influence that distorts truth. Practice deliberate solitude after long interactions. Solitude resets emotional rhythm and cleans borrowed energy. Sit in stillness for 3 minutes and track residual emotions. Ask, which of these feelings are mine and which appeared after contact? This audit prevents emotional infection, the quiet spread of foreign patterns. Discipline is not only in speech, but in energetic hygiene. Remember that even sincerity can be strategic. The most advanced players weaponize vulnerability to disarm perception. They share wounds, regrets, or lessons to lower your guard. Your empathy activates, and their influence deepens without resistance. This is called controlled disclosure. It uses selective openness to bypass logic through emotional resonance. The only counter is structural empathy and understanding without. Merging structural empathy says, I see your feeling, but I still hold my position. You acknowledge emotion while keeping structure intact. This keeps warmth alive without surrendering clarity. Such balance is rare, because people crave belonging more than truth, but the one who maintains inner posture inside compassion becomes immovable. That posture radiates quiet authority, impossible to imitate for long. As you advance, you will realize emotional discipline is not the end goal. It is the gateway to invisible leadership. Leaders who master inner tempo influence reality without demand or defense. They lead by energetic gravity, not control or logic. Their presence resets the emotional field of everyone nearby. This is not mysticism. It is applied nervous system intelligence. But beware. Every mastery attracts imitation. The world copies what it cannot yet create, and when your calm becomes influence, reflections will surround you. Some will follow to learn, others will mirror to steer. Your test will no longer be silence under attack, but clarity under praise, because praise manipulates faster than insult when calm carries power. So the question shifts once again. If someone mirrors your calm not to test you but to guide you, how will you distinguish mentorship from manipulation? And how will you protect your mind from influence that feels like trust itself? Do you know that the most dangerous form of control is the one that feels like guidance? What if the person teaching you calmness is quietly deciding what your calm should serve? If you wish to reach true psychological freedom, you must separate wisdom from ownership. Mentorship and manipulation. Wear the same face when power is subtle. Both speak with patience. Both offer insight. Both sound protective. The difference is intent. One expands your autonomy. The other reshapes it. The manipulative mentor does not steal control. They redirect it. They tell you what peace should look like and when to feel composed. Soon, your discipline obeys their pattern instead of your own awareness. This happens because the human mind craves a model to imitate. Models reduce uncertainty, and uncertainty feels like threat. So you copy someone's calm, someone's tone, someone's language. You stop observing life directly and start living through borrowed structure. This is the quiet death of mastery, when imitation replaces perception. To recover freedom, you must rebuild direct contact with your own signals. Real mastery begins when you stop outsourcing your emotional authority. Every principle you adopt must pass through personal verification. Ask 3 silent questions before integrating any teaching. First, does this increase my independence or my dependence? Second, can this truth function even without the teacher present? Third, does this principle align with my inner compass when silence returns? If all 3 answers are yes, the wisdom is clean. If any are no, the guidance is disguised control. Understand this truth. The manipulator seeks followers. The master builds equals. A true mentor releases control as soon as you gain clarity. They push you back to solitude, to test your discipline without their voice. A false one deepens attachment, feeding their relevance through your calm. The difference becomes visible when you act against their advice. Mentorship respects resistance. Manipulation punishes it quietly. The Machiavellian student must therefore master the art of separation. Separation does not mean distance. It means ownership of inner direction. Listen deeply but decide alone. Learn everything, but believe slowly. Adopt no pattern without personal digestion. And when authority demands obedience instead of understanding, step back immediately. There is also a subtler layer, the internalized master. Sometimes the manipulator leaves, but their voice remains inside you. You begin policing your emotions through invisible standards you never questioned. You scold yourself for imperfection using words that are not yours. This is self-domestication, the last trick of psychological control. You must identify that inner voice and ask, whose tone am I repeating? The antidote is radical neutrality toward your own state. When emotion arises, do not label it weak or unworthy. Describe it as weather, temporary, valid, and informative. Discipline is not suppression of storms. It is navigation within them. You do not drown. You steer, and each time you steer without judgment, autonomy strengthens. To maintain this freedom, practice the discipline of energetic reset. After every high-pressure encounter, remove borrowed energy through reflection. Sit in still awareness and trace residual emotion to its source. Say inside, this tension belongs to yesterday. This calm belongs to now. Detachment restores sovereignty faster than rationalization ever can. Reason explains what happened. Detachment erases its hold. True emotional mastery is quiet transparency, feeling without possession. You sense, you process, you release. No emotion defines you. No calm enslaves you. This neutrality is not coldness. It is balance under total perception. People mistake it for mystery because they cannot measure steadiness. Mystery becomes aura, aura becomes influence, and influence becomes leadership. At this stage, power changes shape. You no longer need to defend boundaries. Presence defines them. You no longer need to assert truth. Behavior broadcasts it. You no longer need to win debates. Silence reframes them. This is the level Machiavelli hinted at, but never named. The level where mind, body, and timing merge into invisible command. But even now, there is one final test. When your calm becomes influence, when others begin orbiting your presence, will you use that gravity to free them or to control them? Because the cycle of power renews itself, the student becomes the mirror. If you project control, you become what you escaped. If you project clarity, you become what others seek to awaken. So guard your intention more than your techniques. Tools without purpose breed tyranny, but tools with awareness breed wisdom. Let calm remain sacred, not strategic. Use discipline not to dominate, but to create balance in chaos. Let your silence serve truth, not ego, and let your mastery stay invisible. For visible power always decays. Remember, emotional discipline was never about winning. It was about seeing. Seeing how control hides inside comfort, how imitation hides inside admiration, and how your own mind can serve or enslave you depending on awareness. Machiavellian mastery is not manipulation of others, but liberation from invisible strings. The final secret is this: power does not corrupt awareness. It reveals it, and the one who can stay conscious inside power, that one becomes untouchable, not because they control others, but because no one on earth can control them again.